This meeting is being recorded.
Wow, we had a double rally. All right, brother. I'll allow yourself to introduce you. Who are you? What do you do?
Okay. I'm Brian Kichton. I compete in strongman and powerlifting.
What got you into that, man?
It's kind of funny, actually. When I was a kid, I was into fighting, like Muay Thai and all that, and from a very young age. And I wanted to fight, and I was just a kid, and I wanted to spar and everything. And my coach was like, "You can't fight until you can deadlift double your body weight." And that's it. I was like, all right.
Wow.
What's a deadlift? We went from there, and I wanted that double body weight deadlift, and I was still into fighting for a while, but then as time went on, my interest just kind of shifted, and I got way more into the weights. They came and went a few times. I had kind of like a tumultuous childhood, and there were times where it wasn't the main piece of my life, but yeah, it came back and helped me get myself straightened out in my mid-20s. Got it together and got really focused.
It fucking grounds you, right? Like, honestly, man, like it's your, The Rock says it's his anchor, and I fucking understand that so much. Like, if I didn't train, I'd be an awful human being. I'd be crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have a schedule, right? You gotta get to bed on time, or you gotta be healthy, or it doesn't really work. You're just spinning your wheels.
We're habitual creatures, right?
Yeah, that too.
Okay, with spontaneity is cool and that. Yeah, fantastic holidays and all that. Go do your thing and kind of go with the wind and that. Like, I'm all about it, but at the same time, like day in, day out, and like the Monday to Friday, the grind, so to speak, quote unquote, like having a habit is going to be the easiest thing in the world to get you from a place where you don't want to be to a place where you want to be. And then the gym just fucking grounds you, man. Like you said, everything else has to fall into place around it. Otherwise, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, it's in there for nothing. Yeah, sometimes you go backwards.
You spent all this money. Usually you rock up with your brand new belt, your sleeves, your wrist wraps, and then fucking benching a plate. You're like, this hurts my soul.
Yeah, just going in there with a crazy hangover and no sleep. You're like, why am I even here?
Yeah. All gear and no idea, right?
Yeah.
Also, it is a question. What do you think is the biggest like life thing that the gym has taught you personally?
Oh man. I think a lot. I mean, especially just because I was kind of wild, and I didn't have a lot of good influences around me. And when you're in the gym, there's a lot of like you were saying, it's like people that really get their shit together, like well-to-do. So you kind of see what success looks like, and you're like, okay, because I didn't really see it when I was a kid, and I feel like that's why I was kind of crazy. So I was around these people that kind of had it together a lot more than what I had ever seen, and gave me kind of a framework of what I should be doing day to day.
I agree. Like, being around those disciplined individuals, like, it usually makes you get your shit together pretty fucking quickly, because you look yourself in the mirror and you're just like, well, I don't fit in here because I'm like that little rat bastard who's a bit sporadic and kind of does everything and fucks things up, right? And you see these like fucking 50, 60-year-olds are absolutely killing it and quote unquote successful in whatever, right? Usually when you get into the gym, you're like, oh, you're jacked, you're successful. It's like, okay, like, we'll use that as an example. You're like, well, maybe I should start doing what they're doing, and you get a little bit of discipline along the way.
Yeah. You surround yourself with those type of people, and the people you were with before start to seem a lot less interesting,
It's hard though, right? Because you end up losing people.
Yeah, that ended up being a good thing for me. A lot of them, I was kind of trying to distance myself from them anyways, so this kind of sped things up a bit.
Yeah, either that or move cities, man. Move cities is another great one, or countries even better, just why do you think I'm on the other side of the world?
Right.
No, I'm joking. But yeah, like It's still difficult though, right? The process of it's like growing pains, right?
Oh
Like
yeah,
you've
yeah,
got to go through it, and you want the outcome. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm going to change from like a child figure to an adult figure. I'm growing through it, but the process is not fucking pleasant.
no, yeah. Especially early on, I feel like once you start getting legitimately good, people start giving you props. But early on, everybody's got a problem with it. You know, you just
Yeah.
notice it.
Oh, you're obsessed. Like,
Yeah.
oh, what you doing? Spending all your time in the gym, like fuck off, man.
Those
This
same
is what I
people
want to
start
do.
bragging. Yeah. You know, later on, once you start getting somewhat good, like you should see my friend. It's like, didn't you just tell me I'm an idiot for doing this like a
Yeah,
year
yeah,
ago?
yeah, yeah. It's my friend, right? If you've not
Yeah.
spoken to him till in like 6 years, oh, it's my friend. It's like, get
Yeah.
fucked. We've not been friends in like fucking 10 years. Fuck off.
Yeah. Every time you're around them, they just make your life worse. Like I get in trouble every time I'm near you. You
Yeah.
know?
Nah, man. Nah, man. Cut ties. So,
Yeah.
so talk to me about strongman. Like, how did you end up weaning from trying to get a double bodyweight deadlift to then I'm going to pick up these massive things that we just call logs and kind of press it above my head and carry cars and all that type of crazy, crazy shit?
Yeah. It's actually that's kind of funny too. So once I started losing interest in fighting, I started getting into CrossFit because I like that cardio feeling.
Mm.
And it kind of replicated the way I felt when I was training. And I was just too big. You know, as I got older, once I got into my 20s, I just started getting really big. Like I was doing CrossFit, I was totally natural at the time. And I was 255 from burpees. You know, I'm like, this is
Fuck.
not working. Yeah. Like I gotta find like what do the big guys do? You know what I
I'm
mean?
I'm gonna
And then I
I'm
kind of found
I'm gonna do the
strongman.
kilos. Hold on.
Oh yeah, sorry.
255. No,
Yeah.
it's all right. It's my brain can't fucking.
Okay.
That's
America.
116 kilos for everyone who does kilos. That's fucked up, man.
Yeah, from nothing, from like swinging around on the pull-up bar, you know. So I'm like, all right, this isn't the right sport. So I ended up joining a powerlifting and strongman gym, and just kind of strongman. I do love powerlifting too, but strongman just kind of spoke to me a little more because it kind of leans towards. I know a lot of those guys that you see are pretty big and fat, but there is weight classes, and it leans more towards athleticism.
Yep.
I knew that I had the ability with like strategy and speed. I could beat people stronger than me potentially. Where in powerlifting is no shot. If a guy's stronger than you, he's stronger than you. That's it. You know, it's a little more of a like game theory in strongman.
100%. So for people that have no fucking idea what it is and just kind of see these giants like slapping baby all on each other and having a wrestle, I'm joking. That's a completely different sport. That's a different website, right? Um, what would you say? What would you put it as a nutshell? And then also like how would you describe it to a complete newbie?
I would say it's kind of like if they're familiar with CrossFit, it's basically just really heavy CrossFit and shorter. Um, a lot of time stuff for reps, and then there's not there's not a lot of rules, and the rules are different from contest to contest. So it's more about like doing the circuit, like you do the local show and then you do nationals, and then because you can't really compare people's strength from one show to another because the equipment is different, the rules are different, the judging is different, right? So it's not standardized the way the other strength sports are. So you kind of gotta to find out who's the best, you all got to show up at the same show and compete. You know, the
Mm.
events are always different. That's why you'll see guys where it's like he's world's strongest man, but this guy squats more than him. But it's like the squat is a piece of his training. He has all these other events he has to be good at too.
Mm.
So it's kind of funky, you know. Like some shows allow full equipment, like multiply, like powerlifting, and then some no equipment at all. You know, so you can't
Wow.
compare it. You
I
just got to
think that
show up. Who wins?
that makes a fascinating viewing entertainment spot, right?
Yeah.
Like kind of watching it, you're like, okay, this could be fucking anything. And we're just gonna see like giants kind of collide, right? And just
Yeah.
like see what they've got on the day, right? And I
Yeah.
think that's as a as a viewer, as a spectator, that's a really entertaining premise to kind of watch, rather than like everybody's dialed in, like powerlifting, for example, or weightlifting, like everybody's dialed in to that one meet. They're going to do 6 or 9 lifts, and then it's going to be good for the next year or 4 years potentially, right? Like strongman is kind of like you rock up, okay, we're going to beat the living fuck out of you. Most of the time, like the spectators are like, I don't even know what this thing is, right? But I'm also very impressed, right?
Yeah.
Why is this man looking down? He looks like he's gone to sleep and he's holding on to 2 logs as they're trying to split him in 2. What is this? Right?
Oh, yeah, the Hercules. Yeah.
But you usually like, but I can't stop watching it, right?
Yeah, it is a funny thing.
What's his name? Mark Felix. He's my fucking favorite, man.
Yeah,
he's my like, absolute favorite. Yeah, man, he's an absolute weapon. He's English, isn't
he? Yeah, crazy strong. Yeah, actually, speaking of the Hercules hold, I think he has the record in that.
Yes, I believe so, because he looks like he goes to a different dimension. You know what I mean?
It's like eyes closed.
Yeah, just crazy, just kind of like chilling out, you know, and does his thing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So, what would you say is like your favorite / strength event?
For me right now, anything moving. So like if I pick up a sandbag and run, just because I do have like stats wise, I'm more on the athletic side, you know. So it's like if I can pick something up and run with it, I'm probably going to do better. That's something I can beat stronger guys with, you know. Wow. So you kind of, the events are usually like there's a pressing event, there's maybe 1 or 2 moving events, maybe a farmer's is always a deadlift. And a lot of times with loading, so it's like a sandbag or stones. So a lot of times it's whoever's the pretty good at everything is who wins, and then the specialists, they have their awesome event and they fall off in the other ones. So that's how I end up doing well. I'm usually not the biggest or the strongest, but pretty well rounded, you know. I mean, I really make up on the speed. Yeah.
So like you said, it's like heavy CrossFit, you know, like if you're a specialist, you're not gonna win the games, all right? It's the fittest on earth. It's supposed to be the world's strongest man, like, and that comes into everything, right? You know, strength is the body's ability to generate force, and that's just not going to be from a deadlift. That could be anything, right? And I think it makes it more impressive, to be honest. And also the order of the events, right? You're like, okay, like for example, the 500 and the 501, like insane. Not taking anything away from it. That's fucked up insane. My mind blows every time. I could watch it on repeat for about 7 days, right? I love it. But at the same time, it's like now, you know, that was kind of the one-off thing. If you have it in a different order and you're like, okay, they've done stones, they've pulled a truck, they've done this, they've done that. All right, cool. Now they're doing like a max deadlift. Obviously, you're not going to break the world record of 502 kilo. You're not going to pull that, but you're still seeing some insane amounts of strength getting pulled under an insane level of fatigue. And I think that is from like a geek sort of S&C perspective of 1, being an athlete, and 2, of coaching it. I'm like, wow, this shit is incredible.
It's push. It's a big push, especially as you get deeper into the day.
Fuck yeah, mate. I'm a weightlifter. I complain after I've cleaned a barbell that I need to jerk it because I'm fatigued. I've done 1 rep, bro. You know what I mean?
Olympic lifters cross over well because all of that stuff's allowed. Like you can do split jerks, you can do it, and a lot of guys don't know how to do that. So you actually have a little bit of an advantage there if you ever want to try it.
But I'm also 5'10" on a good day.
Yeah, there's weight classes. Yeah, all the way down to lightweight.
Oh, okay. What's the lightest weight in strongman?
Let me check. I'm not sure. It's pretty light though. Yeah, you'd be surprised. And the lightweight classes are crazy because everybody's ripped. Like people are cutting down. It's not like I'm in the open heavyweight now, and you could see anyone like myself. I'm 306. Let me see what that is in kilos. Sorry,
306. That's fucking big, man.
I'm like 139 right now, and you could see guys all the way up to and bigger than like 182. You know.
Well, Eddie was fucking 197 when he pulled 500.
Yeah, so I'm in the unlimited class, but there are guys that they cut down. What is was 1 second? Sorry, I'm like being in America. It's like it's
Nah,
can't
brother, like
describe it.
it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
we all respect weight. You know, it's just
yeah. So 105 kilos is really competitive in strongman. Under 105, a lot of those guys cut down to that weight, so they're like peeled. They look like stage ready bodybuilders, and they're just moving fast with everything. They're strong, and they know how to clean and jerk. So they'll be hitting weights close to the heavyweights just with
really.
technique. Yeah, it's really cool.
Wow. Like I think that's awesome as the sport, gains popularity and kind of people will see it as a sport that you can participate in a little bit easier than just being like 6'8" and 1,000,000 kilos, right? You're just like,
Yeah,
oh, okay, everybody's doing it now, and everyone can just move a odd object which is pretty heavy or push themselves in just a way, right? And everybody else around them is like, let's go, this is awesome. And I think that's going to be really, really cool to see. Like powerlifting's done incredibly well. I think it's doing the best out of all strength sports at the moment in terms of making the accessibility a lot easier for the average Joe. Granted, like we said before, everyone can do some sort of SBD, so it's a little bit easier to get into it, right? The complexity of the movements is quite low, although the technical nuances are quite small, right? It is difficult once you get to the high ranks, but getting into it, everyone can kind of hinge, squat, push. You would think, and then when it comes into like strongman and like weightlifting, like it's a little bit more complex. But I can't wait to weightlifting's a political fucking mess. So we'll talk about strongman. Um, I can't wait to see it like more popular everywhere. Like you just see like 50-year-old ladies just kind of like pushing themselves. It doesn't matter what's on the bar. It doesn't matter how big the stone is. It doesn't matter about all these things. It's just they're pushing themselves, right? It's the mental barriers that they've ended up breaking through to give it a go. And I think that's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, you should try it.
I'll give it a go, man. Like I
Yeah,
fucking love fitness, man. Like I'll give anything a go, pretty
yeah.
much,
If you
apart
like
from like
cleaning jerk,
skydiving.
log lift is the same thing.
Yeah, I'll do
Clean and
that.
press.
No
It's a
problem.
different thing.
I actually trained a couple times. I worked in a city and lived in a city in England called Southampton, right, which is right at the bottom and right in the middle. And I trained a couple of times out of it was called, I think, Barbell Division, and it was owned by Aaron Page. Do you know Aaron Page?
It sounds familiar.
Or did you know Aaron Page? Unfortunately he has passed away.
Oh,
Um,
really?
last year, the year before, I think it was COVID. I think I'm not really too sure. Like, don't quote me on that. But I met the fellow, and he's absolutely incredible guy, and he was gunning for the world record of log press at the time, and I think
Oh,
he got to
really?
like 212, 216. Like honestly, like that was
That's
insane.
Yeah, that's really heavy. That's what I'm working really hard on right now. I'm in a weird spot because there's kind of this purgatory you end up in where so I podiumed at nationals, and typically when you're top 3 at nationals you become a pro, but my weight class doesn't have pro cards, so I have to go up a weight class to go pro, which is fine. We lift the same weights, so it doesn't matter too much. But the biggest difference is a lot of the moving events and stuff are at the pro weights, even at high level amateur, but the static strength just needs to be there. So I really need to push my log press and my deadlift, and then I'll be ready, because that's kind of the next thing. Like, it's cool to podium at nationals a million times as an amateur. Nothing wrong with that, but for me, like, the next step would be, obviously, I want to get that pro card.
Fuck
So,
yeah,
and then
man.
when I get it, I want to be ready. I don't want to go to the pros and just get annihilated. You know what I mean? Zero everything. So we got to push that log and deadlift up.
So what's your pull at the moment? What are you deadlifting?
Should be, let me see, in pounds, it should be in the low 800s right
It's
now.
some dirty weight, bro.
Yeah, it's like 370 kilos. But I like to get that a little higher.
What do you want to pull? Do you want to pull 4?
That would be great. Yeah, if I could get it to 400, I would feel a lot better about it. And then same with the log. Like if I could get that to anywhere over like 185, then I'd really be like, okay, I'm ready. So that's what this year is dedicated to, is just got to hit the gas, get that static strength up, get ready.
100%. Like you just need to be dense, like that will just pack on some absolute gains. And like okay, here's a good one, because some people listening to this will be, super fascinated, but at the same time, they might be walking around 70 kilos sopping wet. So what the fuck do you eat, brother?
A lot. I never really tracked it until recently. It's funny because just all this strongman talk, it makes you grow like crazy. There's nothing you can do. Like it just happens. When I was only powerlifting, I was probably, let's see, I was like 120 when I was powerlifting. Yeah, and then didn't really grow. I wasn't trying to, but just those rep ranges, like 1 to 5 reps, just wasn't really making me grow. And then when I really started pushing the strongman, that's when all of a sudden I gained, 20 kilos like in a year. It's all reps, and it's those weird objects, right? You're getting loaded in these weird directions. You just get like your neck and everything just gets thicker, and your core gets so much thicker, and your back, it just has to. I feel like your body's just like, well, this is crazy. I guess I'll grow.
Fuck yeah. You're like, whoa, hold on a minute. Ryan, what the fuck are you doing to me, man? Like, okay, fine, let's just pack on a bit of tissue here, pack it on here. We kind of need this thing called a spine, right? We want to like protect that fucker. Yeah, like the density of strongman's and strongwoman's backs is so impressive, bro. Like, honestly, I think for me, if I'm going to look at it completely like subjectively, I think someone's back is most impressive out of everything. Like just the fucking density and like the detail that goes into it. If literally just by like carrying shit and picking shit up, you're like, what is this? It's like a brick wall.
Like a week ago or maybe a few days ago, I finally put it into my my fiance uses that my Fitness Pal thing. I don't know if people use that outside the US, but just track your macros with it. And I put I'm averaging like 4,000 to 6,000 calories a day.
Oh wow, I thought it'd be more than that, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a lot of clean food. Like I try to eat healthy because I'm like, man, if I'm this big, I can't be eating crap or I'll die. You know what I mean? So you got no choice. It's like tons of greens, a lot of beets, things like that, a lot of meat. Get like 400 grams of protein. I know not everybody likes pushing the protein. It just happens by accident. I like it. I'm not deliberately eating a crazy amount. But
I also think, I also think everyone should take some accountability for themselves, right? And apply the law of individuality in the sense of, okay, like this is a conversation, right? I want to know your side, which is what fucking works for you, right? Rather than someone be like, oh my God, this is like gospel. I was like, no, like this is what happens for the fucking brother. Like if you try it, right, and you fucking say, for example, I eat 400 grams of protein a day. I'm 90 kilos. You got 50 kilos on me. Right? I'll be shitting rocks.
Yeah.
That's not a clever idea, right?
Yeah, you work up.
That'd be awful, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the same.
Like, it's like you train it, you get bigger, you eat more, it just like naturally happens, Get hungrier.
Yeah, for sure. What about the distribution? As in like, okay, you eat a shitload of protein, we got that one squared off. But what about like fats and carbs? Like, do you feel better with a higher carb ratio or fat ratio? Like, this is somewhere that interests me.
Yeah, I kind of plan it around my day. When I know that I'm going to be at the gym for a few hours and I'm not going to eat, and I'm like I'm not amazing with timing my meals, so we'll go like really high fat just to hopefully keep me satiated for a while, because I'll get hungry. I have to eat while I'm training half the time. I'm like hungry all the time. It's crazy. But and then on other days, less fat on normal days. But I was thinking about trying to reduce it actually and see how I felt, because it's a little high now.
Really?
But yeah, definitely when I'm not going to be able to eat for a while, I'll kind of push the fat up just to hopefully hold me over.
I always feel better with a higher fat content.
Yeah,
I feel a lot better.
Because you get hungry, you start feeling like I was born with my blood sugar is always low. So if I get hungry, I'll be in trouble quick. It's like pre-diabetic almost. So I got to make sure, and the fat seems to help with that. It must like elongate the insulin spike. I don't know. But all I know is I feel a lot better, especially if I have to space the food out.
Yeah, for sure, right? And like, you're nailing yourself. You're putting yourself through so much stress. Like I think increasing like the lipid content in your diet is going to help with the whole hormone control as well. So it doesn't fucking drive towards the bottom, and the next thing you can't get your knob out, which is a rather shit place to be in, right?
Yeah. I keep trying to like a lot of the big guys, it's like dirty bulking and all this. Like people are always talking about eating all this crap food. And I try to like, I'm not perfect, but it's like when you're big, like I'm trying to get people to be healthier with the food. It's like, especially in our sports are untested, so a lot of stuff happens. And it's like between that and a bad diet, I mean, you can really get yourself in trouble. Like people are going in and having their blood work come back crazy. And it doesn't need to be that way,
That's a really interesting point of like the combination between PEDs and like a shit diet and what that would do. Or if you paired exactly, right? Or if you paired like PEDs with like a healthier diet, whatever the fuck that is for that individual, and kind of see what it is in comparison to. I think that's really interesting.
Oh yeah, it's night and day. Yeah, and especially some people just push the gear too hard too. It's like because you don't recover. It's like if your resting heart rate's 80 beats per minute, I mean your body's just panicking around the clock. You're not going to sleep right. A lot of people don't treat their sleep apnea either. You need to, like, if you're going to be big, you got to have the CPAP. You got to pay attention to your blood. You got, what I mean? You got to make sure your health markers are in line, or it's like you got to lose some weight, or you got to do something's got to change, because this is not sustainable. If you want to do this for a long time, you can't be having a heart attack in your 40s,
I mean, that's why you see strongmen nailing, getting the world's strongest man, like Eddie, for example, and then just pulling the plug and quitting, right? And be like, I did what I wanted, and now that's it. Like, I'm going to go for longevity. I'm going to try and lose some fucking weight. Like he was crazy though. He's 197, man.
It's so big because I think he's my height.
He's like 6'2".
Yeah, I'm 6'3", so
yeah,
I can't even imagine being that body weight at this height. It's insane.
That's another 50 kilos on you.
Yeah.
That's fun. How do you move, man?
Yeah, I don't know.
The sleep apnea though, like talk to me about that, because that's something completely different, right? And I only actually knew this when I watched the Eddie Hall documentary. Granted, it was years ago now, but it's something that personally I didn't think about. And I'm even in the industry, never mind anybody else.
Yeah, I never give it up. Like if you're around me in the gym and I think you have it, I like never leave you alone until you treat it, because it's nasty stuff. And even you don't even have to be big to have it. I was doing jujitsu for maybe a year or two ago, and then I fully committed to strongman. I was like, I gotta pick one. I was getting hurt all the time, and those guys, their necks are really strong. Same with wrestlers, and I'm like, they're always complaining about their sleep. Like we'd be sitting around on the mat after training, and they're like, dude, my sleep just sucks. Like, how do you recover? I'm like, if you got a sleep study, if you have, I guess it's like if your neck is over a certain size, you're at risk regardless of your body weight. So if you're a muscular person, you could have it. Wow. And there's even people who's like their tongue sits weird in their mouth and their throat, or like you could have it for reasons other than body weight. But man, the side effects are really crazy. And you're getting choked out all night. You're like your body's just dumping cortisol, because it thinks you're dying essentially. You wake up with headaches. All you want to do is sleep. Your blood work's just terrible. Like the second I treated mine, my cholesterol got better. My body fat dropped. My memory got better. Like this cognitive impact's bad. Your brain's not getting enough oxygen. I was at my doctor, and you know that thing they put on your finger, they measure your oxygen. It's like a little clip. I don't know what it's called, but he's sitting there after I did my sleep study, and he was like, "Hold your breath and see how low you can get that before you freak out." And I'm competitive, so I'm like,
going purple and shit, gonna pass
yeah,
out.
yeah. And I'm looking at the thing, and he takes it off of me, and he shows me my sleep study. And even me, like borderline killing myself, I couldn't consciously get my oxygen as low as it is while I'm sleeping.
Oh,
And I was like, wow. That's when I was like really convinced, you know.
so how do
So
you
whenever
fix
I
it?
see big guys, you just wear CPAP. I mean, I know people have had a few surgeries, like they'll get their tonsils taken out. It depends on why you have it, you know. But some people can fix it with surgery. But for me, it's like if you snore or anything, or you wake up with anxiety or wake up with headaches, it's like get a sleep study. Totally changed my
Really?
life completely. I can't even believe it. I'm like, I got it. I'm like, I'm a genius. I had like weed brain, you know what I mean? Like I couldn't remember anything. Like I put stuff down and forget where it is. It was ridiculous. Like I had it pretty extreme, but even a mild case, you're just groggy throughout the day. You need naps all the time. It's nasty stuff. It's hard on your heart too.
Sleep is so underrated. Sleep and breath work, in my opinion, like I've gone not deep into, but I've kind of opened my eyes up to like healing the body through how you breathe, right? And kind of trying to understand that side, and then also at the same time trying to understand the sleep side a little bit more. And it's like it's fucking so important, man. Like the amount of people that kind of live life between two lines, right, and be like, this is normal. It's like, no, like living in pain is not normal. It's only normal because you've done it for like 10 years. Well, that doesn't mean it's normal, right? Like you're somehow surviving because the body is a crazy smart thing, but you're not thriving at all, right? You're trying to push yourself as far as possible, but you're in like survival mode, quote unquote. It's not going to work.
No. And a lot of them don't even know how bad they feel because they just have been for so long. They're like, I feel fine. You know, it's like if I felt how you felt, I would be terrible. You know what I mean? Wouldn't be able to function.
I mean, what was the like most lads under 30 have like low testosterone at the moment, like in modern times, right? Because of all this random shit, staying up late, lack of sleep, fucking shite food, stress, whatever. Like there's a lot of things, and obviously don't quote me on any statistics because I'm just pulling it out my ass. But like that's fucked up. That's crazy. You know, our brains stop developing at what, 25?
Yeah, for me, that was about the time for sure. I can tell by my behavior. You got a lot smarter at that age all of a sudden.
Oh, what am I doing, man? You know? Yeah. You know, that's 5 years of like normal range T level. You're like, that's not good. Like we're doing something wrong as individuals. We're doing something wrong as modern society, and we're doing something wrong as a fucking race. If this is the case.
Yeah, it's scary. It's definitely scary. I mean, that's another thing. I don't push it, but like a lot of times it's like CPAP and check your testosterone, you know. And sometimes guys treat their sleep apnea, their test goes up. So
100% too. Yeah, better recovery. Yeah, definitely.
And then, and then food quality, like you said, for sure. I mean, to be honest, up until maybe 2-3 years ago, I really wasn't paying attention. I wasn't eating necessarily bad. It's like you said, it's like what I consider bad and what someone else considers bad. But now I'm making an effort to eat better. And even that, it's like, man, what a difference.
You feel the difference now, right? Like you'll eat something like that's normal for you now, and you know, you'll feel pretty good, or you might feel halfway house, right? And you kind of do your thing. But say, for example, you go to town on like a Mackey's, right? You're going to wake up the next day and oh my God, you feel like garbage.
Yeah. Can't even train like anything. I feel like a distended stomach. Like there's like something wrong with me.
Mine's like chocolate, man.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you know, I can't eat a couple squares. You know what I mean? I'll do like 300-gram blocks. I'm crazy. You know what I mean? I'm like a crack addict when you give me that sort of type of stuff. I'm like, if I'm going in hard, right?
Yeah.
And then yeah, I'm honestly like fucking written off the next day. I'm like, oh, don't come near me. I'm shitting my pants. It's not good, man.
Yeah, it's funny. I had a cheat meal a few weeks ago, and I was just like, never again. I didn't have one for a long time, and then I was watching all these like competitive eating things on YouTube, and I was like, making me want to do that.
You went down the
And I was,
rabbit hole. Yeah.
what a mistake, man! Like I couldn't train for like 2 days. It's like alcohol. I can't drink anymore either. You know, it's like I drink on Saturday, I'm hungover till Wednesday. I'm forced to be healthy regardless. I can't even function with this stuff. You know.
Goddamn sport. It makes us healthy. Fuck this thing.
Yeah.
But it's true though, man. Like you put two and two together, you're able to draw the line between the two dots of like, if I'm gonna go in and train, right? Like the first year, you'll be able to get away with it. And usually, like if you eat like shit and you start training and you continue eating like shit, you're not gonna know the difference. But if you stop and you start eating good, and then you feel great in the gym, you're like, holy shit, performance is going up. I feel good. I'm looking a little bit better, and I'm like, okay, this is good. And then you go back, oh, good luck.
Yeah. It doesn't go over well usually.
No, next thing you know, you got a food baby that lasts for about 5 days.
Yeah, like something is just severely wrong, you know.
When you changed your gut biome, right? Like the bacteria in your fucking gut and your digestive tract has changed because it's adapted to the new foods, and like it makes a lot of sense. Technically, you are healthier, right? The bacteria living inside of you is better for you than the garbage that was in you before.
Absolutely.
So if you're going to take anything away, train and don't smash Mackies on a regular basis.
Yeah, it's that easy. You know, people make life a lot more complicated than it needs to be. Like, don't drink, don't smoke, don't eat McDonald's. You'll be all right.
It's simple, right? Super simple.
Work hard.
Yeah, right. It's also fucking hard.
Yeah,
because it's so simple.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, so what's the next competition?
It's supposed to be the Arnold. So for amateur, the Arnold is world championship for strongman, and then they have the big stage. So there's like the pro show, and then there's us, like the minor leagues, you know. So like the top 15% from nationals go to the Arnold, and then the rest of the world sends their guys too. This is a world championship. I'm hoping I can do it. I'm having an issue with my patella tendon in the right leg, but we'll see. I'm going to try to see an ortho this week and confirm. If it's only tendonitis, I'm not worried about it. But if it's a partial tear, I'm going to take it easy, just because with those weights, I mean, I could just blow it off, you know, and then it's like, I turn a couple month recovery into like a huge problem, you know. And it's, for me, like I said, it's like, it's not that I'm like writing myself off. I think I could do really well, but it's not my year yet when it comes to like maybe the end of the year, but I'm not ready for the pros yet anyway. Just need a little bit more static strength. Like most of the things are ready, but I want to make sure I'm competitive. So if I get hurt now it's a setback when it's not even time yet. You know what I mean? I should just be building right now. So we'll see. There's more big contests this year, and if I got to sit this one out, it is what it is, but I'd like to do it because the events are good for me this year. So I feel
like you said, man, like it's building the base of the pyramid, you know, the wider the base of the pyramid, the taller the peak. And sometimes you got to take the L, and that's a lesson. Like, you know, you got to sit it out. Like, no, you've got to, you're being a bit of a bench warmer, you know, you got to play the game. Yeah. You can't play every game, man.
Same with CrossFit. Like, comparing it to CrossFit, it's kind of similar, because if you're always focused on events and you're not building that just power, you're going to be just a really awesome amateur, right? It's like when you see people that go to the CrossFit gyms and they just go to class and that's all they do. And they do it for years and years and years and years. They're never going to make it to regionals or anything. They need to take time with their weightlifting. They need to take time with their gymnastics. They need to take time with their running and their swimming. For us, it's like you need to build your 1 rep max log. You need to build your 1 rep max deadlift, and then everything else, right? So if I'm just going show, I might end up spinning my wheels for a while. You don't want to do that.
100%,
You know?
man. You know, you want to build, not test, right? Like I used to say that for years. Like this was a long time ago, and my brother always used to come up to me, was like you never test your one rep. But I was like, I'm building, man. Like if I test,
Yeah.
I'm not getting any stronger. I'm
Right.
seeing where I'm currently at. Like I'm building. I'm in the gym. I'm kind of like, stone and chisel, just kind of chipping away, do my thing. And I don't know. I love that environment of like the grind, the monotonous fucking
In the
go in,
woods.
go
Yeah.
out. Like I love it, man. I love the hunt. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Everyone likes getting fucking turned up on the stage, on the platform, whatever, and go hype. Yes, 100%. But it takes so much out of you that you
Yeah.
can't do that like more than what, 3 times at a push in a year. I'd say fucking twice.
Yeah. Going really hard. I like to compete often if I can, like if my body allows it. Right now I'm kind of dinged up, so I don't. But yeah, they're like training contests. It's like you're not really maxed. You can really only max like 2-3 times a year, like you said.
Mm.
Last year was crazy. I was like coming out of the pandemic, and I had already taken a few years off, like 2017, 2018. I backed away because I needed to focus on my career. I had some stuff happen at home, and then I'm ready for my comeback in 2019, and nope, there's no shows. Then 2020, then 2021 came around, dude. Last year I competed at least once a month.
Fuck.
In everything, grip, powerlifting, strongman. Sign me up, jiu-jitsu tournament. Like competing in everything this year.
Mad bastard.
So this year I'm going to be a lot more calculated.
You need to get it out of your system,
Yeah, man, I had some I was like a caged animal. You got to go get out there and do some.
What are you doing next weekend? Oh, I'm competing in the local water polo tournament. Like,
Yeah.
can you swim? No, but I'm like, I need to do something, like
Yeah, we're doing it.
we've not got anything planned and I can't watch any more fucking Netflix. You're like, oh my God, 140 kilo bloke in a pool. Like, this is not going to go well.
Yeah. It was fun. The grip was interesting. I've never done that. It's kind of a funny thing. Maxing your grip. It's a really odd feeling.
Oh, what do you mean?
Yeah, they have these like grip contests where you're pretty much just picking up weird shit. Like it'll be like a square barbell. Whoever can like double overhand deadlift a square barbell the heaviest. It's like crazy stuff. Pretty fun. I'd do it again. I did like 3 last year.
Wow.
Yeah.
You see all that like grip. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good competition, like it's just random shit that kind of gets people out of their comfort zone, takes them out of the box, gets them into an environment where they can meet like-minded people. It's all about the social, right? Like it's not like, fucking millions of dollars is riding on who's going to win the local grip tournament. Like,
yeah,
like, come on, man.
That's the thing, that's what it's all about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see more average Joes, like the Average Joe's Gym from the old Dodgeball. Great movie, by the way.
Yeah.
Fantastic movie. I fucking love that movie so much.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait to see it just in random little events, right? More strongman stuff, more powerlifting stuff, more CrossFit stuff. CrossFit's done really, really well. Of bringing everybody in and like pushing themselves rather than like, I'm trying to beat you. I was like, it's got nothing to do with that. Like, we're completely different levels on all the levels. So I'll try and beat me in this, and you're trying to beat you in that. Then we'll give each other a high five and a beer at the end, or a protein shake.
It's a great feeder for our sports too. I mean, I can't even imagine how many people went to weightlifting from CrossFit. Because a lot of people fall in love with that when they're there. You're just sitting around the gym. It's all they want to do is snatch.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yep. I think CrossFit has helped all strength spots, right? Yeah. Like that coming up has kind of grabbed everybody by the hype, and they also did really good job of pulling in like West Side, and they got the conjugate system into the trainers and coaches' minds, and like, oh, okay, cool, we're gonna listen to like Louis, and we're gonna go through this and that, and now we're gonna farmers carry, and that's technically strongman. It's not powerlifting, no weightlifting. So what's strongman? And then you kind of go down that route, and the bleed off is really, really cool. Like I would hope to see less people shitting on the other kind of sport. You know what I mean? Like the fitness industry is the best in the world because it helps people's physical and mental state. But at the same time, the worst because we're like, oh, fuck you. You don't do the little niche that I do. I was like, God damn it, man. We're all doing the same thing. We're just using a different tool.
Yeah. You just don't spend too much time on the internet,
Too much time on the internet. Yeah. Like,
it's like you look at powerlifting, for example, it just seemed to have the most drama. You go on powerlifting Instagrams, it's just drama. And then you go to a power meet and everybody's super nice. And it's like, what is this? The internet is not a good representation of what's actually happening at the ground level,
Also the type of gym as well, right? Like people try and judge the gyms from fucking commercial gyms. And I'm like, go to a strength gym, go to a barbell gym, go to one of these niche places. Like people will know you by your name before you walk out of the gym on your first session, right? Yeah. They clear up their shit. There's bags and sweets everywhere. There's like caffeine to galore. Everyone's wanting to give you a high five. Like people are just there for the social, right? People turn up on their rest day to lie in a foam roller and slap you on your ass when you do well.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And you're just like, what is this? And you're just like, I don't know. We just kind of like do our thing. And we're usually super geeky. It's like, oh, we like comic books. We like fucking like movies, we like chilling out, eating popcorn, relaxing, rather than like, I'm going to go hit the club 4 days a week. And you're like, fuck, man. I'm exhausted because I've walked from my seat to the bathroom and back, then took a piss. And I'm like, I need to relax before I get underneath that barbell. Like I've expended too much energy. Never mind dancing around till 4 o'clock in the morning. And fuck that.
Oh yeah. Clubs. Oh my God. So you're getting nothing but trouble in there.
Yeah. You'll get like one a year. You'll get me one a year and I'll go hard. And then I need to like back away for 364 days.
Yeah, I'm getting older now. Like nobody's doing that anymore that I grew up with, they all got kids and everything.
Also, I mean, if you walk in, you might stand out, brother, a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And that's not going to be enjoyable.
Yeah.
Are you the bouncer? No, fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love it. So I got three questions. That's not three questions that I ask everybody, right? Are you ready?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. What's the greatest piece of life advice you've ever received?
The free cheese is always in the mousetrap.
Ooh.
Yeah, you got to remember that one. Free cheese. You start looking for it, you know it when you see it. You're like, no, that's free cheese. I don't want that. That's not going to end well.
Holy shit. I wasn't expecting that one. That one I've never heard before as well.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Free cheese is always in the mousetrap.
Yeah.
That needs to go on a t-shirt.
Right. I don't know if I'm saying it exactly right, but that's
Brother,
essentially it.
It works. What's the worst piece of life advice you've ever received?
Oh my God, so much. I have no idea. Huh. I honestly can't. There's so much I can't even think of one. I don't know. That's a tough one. I'd say anyone that just was talking shit about taking care of yourself, right? A lot of people, like you're saying, when you're going through that transitional period, switching your life up, getting more involved with your health, people are always going to figure out a way to talk shit about that.
Fuck me, man. Like 100%. Like I was that dude in school that fucking loved training and all that. And yeah, you definitely get cast out. Yeah. And then you definitely get those messages years later. Hey, how's it going? You look like you're killing it. Fuck you, cunt.
Yeah.
No. Go away, pal. Like I got enough, I got enough things I need to do with my time rather than like, oh yeah, everything's fine, don't worry about it. Like, no, come on. That's so true. Do you? That's so true.
Don't you think it's selfish how much you're in the gym? Like trying to figure out something wrong with it. Get to the point where they're reaching.
It's all about
Like,
perspective, right?
Take your girl somewhere. Oh, every time I see you, you're always just holding a trophy at a thing. Like, why don't you go somewhere and do something, get a life? Like, that's what I like to do. What the fuck?
I don't come into your house and slap the dick out of your mouth, so don't chat shit about me,
Yeah, basically.
Like,
I could be like, put the drink down and go to the gym, I always see you on vacation. Why are you training? What are you celebrating? You haven't done anything.
It's true, man. And I think it's all down to perspective too, right? Like, why are you always in the gym? I was like, well, this is like my church and this makes me a better person. So then I can be a better person to other people, right? Like, don't you think you would spend time doing that so then you can then help other people in any way, shape, or form? That's if that fucking meant you go to school or you go to church or you go to fucking the club or you go to the gym, it doesn't matter. Like, just make yourself a better person so you can help other people. Like, that's all we can do.
Yeah, definitely. You can tell you're supposed to do it. You feel better after for a reason, right? Like, that's what I miss about fighting, is like the play fighting. But I get most of it out of strongman. I get the same feeling, but I feel like you're like supposed to do it. It's like, you see, I might not be the first person to say this, but you see other species, like even dogs, like they wrestle around, you know what I mean? All baby animals, they play fight, because you're supposed to. After I'm done doing that, it's like the cardio you get and the feeling you feel good after. It's like, there's no way you're not supposed to be doing this stuff, like at least training at the very least.
We're physical beings, man. We're physical beings that's locked up and sat down and kind of staring at an artificial light most of the time and wonder why our minds start playing funny buggers on us. You're like, look, man, like there's some things that we got to do. And one of those things is kind of go a little bit barbaric, right? Like it's my entire business model is bridging the gap between mental and physical health. And you're like, okay, the mental is going to require a lot of things, right? And it's going to require you to sit the fuck down and not do a lot of things and think about some things. Great, that's that side. But the physical side is like, shut the fuck up and go do something.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I track everything, right? And like, when I take a week off, I can watch every day my resting heart rate's a little higher. My sleep's a little lower. Every day I'm not training, like all my health markers start ticking in the wrong direction. And that can happen in like a week. So never mind months and years of no movement, right? It's
wow.
Scary. I can't even imagine.
And that's just the stuff we can objectify.
Right.
Never mind the things that we can't really define and that could potentially creep up with you, 2 years down the line and end up like fucking you up. Like you can't, well, okay, you can get like stress levels of cortisol and that, but any of the mental side, there's not really any markers, right?
Yeah. Right.
There's no numbers you can look at
on social media. You're like, you look like you're not doing that right. Do you help?
I should just give you a Bible,
Yeah, seriously. There's a lot of people I want to just like come to the gym. Man, it's a scary thing. I've had a lot of people close to me die, and the scary thing is, and I always, like, I tell my fiance all the time, I'll get these like random messages and they're like, hey, I want to come to the gym with you. And I'm like scared to death, because that's like one of the last things people say to me all the time. You can tell that they know that it's like, I need to feel better. This looks good. Like, this is going to help me, and it's like, that's the scariest message someone can send me. It's like, if you don't work out and you send me that, it's like, man, usually not too long after that is like a suicide or an overdose, like within weeks, so now I'm like, yeah, come now. Today. What are you doing later? They know, people know.
100%, man. 100%, like they know where it is. They They know where you'll train. Obviously, if they don't, you'll let them know. It's like, I'm here between this time and this time. And I think it's so important. And even, coming in, I've had mates that come in with me to the gym, and I'm like, okay, well, there's certain things that you got to do. And what does that mean? It's like, don't fucking talk to me right now. Do your fucking shit. Okay, don't bitch around. Like, and it's like, oh, you're being harsh. And I was like, okay, hate me now. All right, think I'm a fucking bell sniff right now. I was like, and then you walk out of the gym like, bro, I feel so much better. Like, fuck the physical side, man. Like, I just feel so much better mentally. I'm like, yeah. Like, that's why you have to kind of force yourself into that, like, really weird mental state of like, fuck everything. I'm just here to like rip this barbell in half and just move around and do whatever. Even if you're doing Zumba, it doesn't matter. Go do something, right? Yoga, whatever. Step class, it doesn't matter. And then when you come out, you're like, oh, it's like the cloud's been lifted, man. It's like magic.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Recommend it to everybody in whatever fashion they want to do it. Just go do something.
Definitely.
So, last question. 3 words you would tell your younger self.
Oh my God. There's like 3 words. I have 2 words. Change everything.
Wow.
Don't do anything you're gonna do. I literally, man, I would do it all over different. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it made me who I am today, blah blah. Like, no, I would do literally everything different. I would take back everything. Wow. Everything, the whole thing over. I don't think it added to my life at all.
Well, also,
back with what I know today, man, would I do everything differently?
Wow. But I mean, the mental state you have now, though, and the lessons you'll have learned and know the answers to now, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that came with like, yeah, man, it is interesting to think about. A lot of things, a lot of the stuff I would take back is things that other people convinced me to do. Not everything I did, when you're young, you're malleable, and when you're hanging out with an older crowd and people get you to do things that you never would have done, right? So there's just so many things that I think just like, man, I didn't add value to anything with that stuff. But you know any better, and you don't know what's cool or what you think is cool is so misguided. So yeah, change it all.
Change it all.
Yeah. Everything you're thinking about, don't do that.
Imagine actually being like your younger self and you just get some lad kind of transports, whether it's you in the future or someone's just telling you, and they say change it all. You'd be like, fuck, I'm doing everything wrong. Like, everything I thought to be true.
Yeah, and I'm so like stupid too. I probably wouldn't even listen. But it's been a crazy ride, man. The downtime, even when I come and go from the sport now, it's like I think things would be a lot different, right? Like the reason why I had to step away before, it was like I should have had a different career. Like I was trying to run this powerlifting club and that fell apart, not by my own doing. And then I was like, oh, I need a new job. Like none of this stuff would have happened. I would have already had a career. Everything would have been different, and then a lot of other shit happened, like my home life was really crazy for a while, really crazy. And yeah, that didn't help either. And I think if I was just out of there sooner, maybe that would have been better. Who knows? Right. But I just think that I really made my life a lot harder than it needed to be. That's for sure.
Understood, man. But we got to live and learn, right?
Yeah.
No, we fucking got to. Otherwise, fucking history repeats itself, right? Which is quite apparent with the whole fucking human race. We have a memory of 100 years, right? Usually because we don't fucking learn the lessons. Hey,
you'll live a little longer. If everybody lived like 500 years, the world would probably be a better place.
That'd be nuts. 500 years though, that's too long, man. I don't want to live that long.
Yeah. Well, at least someone will be like, "Hey, we don't do that. I remember when we did that already."
Yeah,
I
when
did
was
it
that? Like 350 years ago? You're like, yeah, fuck. Times have changed, Grandpa.
yeah. No, we'll do it different this
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Good luck. Yeah, we are the smartest and dumbest creatures on the planet, man.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Honestly,
Really.
blows my mind. Anyway, brother, I can't wait to see what you do next, man.
Yeah,
And
thank you. I want to see
send
you
me.
try strong.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Yeah, if you come to Boston, you can use my equipment.
Well, I'm fuck knows what's gonna happen with the borders and that, but as soon as the world stops shitting in its hands and clapping, I'm gonna I like the whole feel of the States. I got a lot of people that I've spoken to, and I got a very good connection with them, and I want to go fucking give them a high five and work out and have a coffee and all that shit. Kind of dot around like North America as a continent, and see the world a little bit, connect with people. So I'm definitely going to be, my business is called Nomad. My podcast is called Nomadic Podcast. So just become a little bit more of a nomad again after the world opens up. So yeah, man, I'll be around. I'll hit you up.
Awesome.
Sounds like a plan. Send me the fucking link for the Arnold.
Okay. Hell yeah, I will.
Yeah, and it's probably going to be like fucking 3 a.m. or something, but I'll get it on the telly and I'll start doing things.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I get super.
Yeah, hopefully we can do it. See what happens with this MRI, but if my knee's in business, then we're doing it.
Sounds great. Keep me updated, man.
Awesome.
Thank you again. Speak soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Peace.